Hello, and what is going on, you guys? Hyperion-Blue-GT here. Welcome back to Gran Turismo 7 part number 10. So it's time to get ready to go over onto the GT Cafe for having another menu book for collection after Japanese FR sports car. Next up, it's going to be a very good place to be on French hot hatches. So we got two guest people are entering into the GT Cafe. There's Chris and Tom Matano. So let's give them these two for having a good interaction guest. And this one, well. Oh, hi Chris. Did you find a cool car to size up today? This is Chris. He loves to appraise cars and he's really good at it too. He sure did, Sarah. He really loves to appraise cars that have all kinds of different year models. Good to see you both. But yes, when I see a nice car as an appraiser, I can't help but to check it out. People around here often just call me the appraiser. No, this is one of the true icons of the industry, one that changed the history of sports cars in the world. It has attractive styling, a top that can't be folded down easily, and the cockpit space is just snug. Oh, and its price at the time of release was very affordable. But above all, the market for convertible lightweight sports cars was quickly decreasing. At the time, it was the dark time for enthusiasts. This was a savior that revived this entire genre of cars. Wow, that was a very good appraisal for the Mazda Uno Roadster NA 1989. So let's press on Tom Matano. Is this your Uno's Roadster? Why yes. It was a very good car after I compete from the Japanese FR Challenge 450. Hey, aren't you Mr. Tom Matano, the famous designer who worked for GM, BMW, and Mazda? What? Oh, so he's the famous designer for General Motors, BMW, and Mazda. How surprising for having a good guest character to be welcomed to the GT Cafe. Very extraordinary good news. Yes, that's me alright. Nice to meet you both. Wow, Mr. Matano, it's an honor to meet you. Mr. Tsutomu Matano is also famous for having worked on the Mazda MX-5 Miata Roadster. He worked in Europe and America for quite a while now, and goes by the first name Tom. You know, from the start, I wanted to give this Roadster a timeless design. It's full of that sentiment that compels owners to wish their car a good night. I've even heard of fans who choose to sleep in it the very first day they had it in their own garage. Truly, it's a car you'll christen, throw birthday parties for, and one day, lovely restored. That is really a great story. Do you want to hear more from him? Oh yes, please, Sarah. This might give a good, interesting story. Let's give it for Tom Matano to explain. There was this one time when I received a wedding invitation from a total stranger living in Texas. I thought maybe it's an owner of a roadster, so I contacted the Roadster Club of Texas. I found out that the happy couple owned a red car and a white car and met each other at that very club. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend the wedding. But a year later, I received a note that they had a baby together. So I painted a miniature model of a roadster in pink and sent it to them. Being able to connect with owners like this is really gratifying as a designer. It's the result of everyone who became involved with this car being able to share their passion. Wow, thank you for sharing such a previous story with us. Let's talk some more about design sometime if we get a chance. That was the most excellent story that Tom Matano have ever heard. That's so beautiful to have that great story in the past, you guys. That was a very good, beautiful story. What Tom Matano has something to say. It's cheerful. Many cheerful. Well, maybe it's time to get ready to go over on to menu book number 11. Collection French Hot Hatches. Now, this is going to be quite good to have all 3 cars in the French Hot Hatches will be acquired to have 3 listers. First up, I have already got the Renault Clio RS 220 Trophy 2016 is now added to the list. So that means the DS Automobile DS3 Racing 2011 and the Peugeot 208 GTI by Peugeot Sport 2014 will be required onto the list. But it might have to be followed up by the Shalui, so let's start out for another menu book for today's course. For this menu, I'd like you to collect 3 modern French hot hatches. These sporty little hatchbacks come from DS Automobiles, Peugeot and Renault, France's biggest automakers. If you can attain all 3, you'll earn a nice reward. Alright, looks like this is going to be a very good French hot hatches for today's number 11, you guys. Let's go out and take on 3 events for a collection to be part in the campaign. But before that, this will be the only best place to go over onto the used car dealership and the Brands Central, because the perfect time to have a good moment to be on March 21st will be at the Nations Cup. So let's go right over onto the Brands Central for a preparation to get the Mazda Roadster S and D model. I really might need it in case, because it's going to be a one-make category for the first round in the test season. Let's go for the showroom and wait for the list to be loaded up. Alright. Price amount is 24,950 credits. This should be quite good enough to have one color to be selected. It's the Soul Red Premium Metallic. So I'm about to buy one Roadster for a 2015 model. Registered onto the index and good to go. 24 collector points. Maybe I'll have to say this later on for putting up with some car customization and livery as well. Oh, and by that time, you guys, I also had all of my livery designs with my Total Drama OC girls in it from Gran Turismo Sport. But clearly, other images has been utterly posted around on DeviantArt Images. Now let's go check it out onto the used car dealership. Okay, looks like this is going to be quite good enough to have a best recommend vehicle to be available by 10,000 range of the price. Lancer Evolution 4 GSR 1996. Limited stock. That should be good enough. So I could probably have a Land Evo 4 will be registered onto the car index. There you go. All registered and getting halfway there by 75% in collector level 11. Now, maybe that we might have to go with classic cars to be purchased. Honda S800 1966 will be purchased to be acquired. There you go. Classic S800 registered checked. Now, I should probably might have another Levin because this is going to be another vehicle will be usable to be as a wide body modification. But not to mention, you guys, I'm about to have to do some photo op research. We'll have to give a similar difference. All checked. Now, one more. And then it's time to get ready to go out for another event. Okay. First generation Volkswagen Golf GTI 1983. I'm about to purchase this good classic vehicle, just like the ones back in Midnight Club LA as a starter car. There you go. Collector level up onto number 12. Excellent. So, looks like this is going to be quite, keep that in mind, you guys. Stopping at 469,482 credits, might need to do some more races to participate at the World Circuits. So let's go over onto Europe to be taking part in the 3-round events will be specifically to be eligible to participate. Now let's go, and we have a good placement spot to be at Deep Forest Raceway at Switzerland. Alright, looks like this is gonna be a perfect time to go for another round in the Sunday Cup. Number 500. Gift card to be finished in 3rd place or higher. But I had to make sure to check to see which first event I might have to go with. But that would be a very good time to go over onto Deep Forest Raceway because the racetrack itself just barely made a good evolution changes for having a good time since the original Gran Turismo games from number 1 to 6. Now for the event info for Sunday Cup number 500 on the European edition. An all-star Sunday Cup showdown for European vehicles. Compete against 500 PP class rival cars. Very good and impressive. That part of the track really made a good same remain layout, but also to have the different changes for some good spots. And there is also the hairpin is going to be brand new to all of us as we may ever saw on the early video. Now let's go and select a good European hatchback car we'll be eligible to select. Okay, looks like I'm about to go with the Mini Cooper S 2005 with a Total Drama World Tour livery. Team Chris is really hot. That should be a very good selected European car will be entered to participate. So let's go over onto Deep Forest Raceway for 2 laps onto Sunday Cup 500 in European edition. Gift card is now going to be received as the DS3 Racing 2011 will be quite good to have another one of my Total Drama liveries from Total Drama World Tour to represent Team Amazon. There it is right now, you guys. A nice, wonderful place on Deep Forest Raceway located in Switzerland. How amazing to have a good place to be putting up with some different changes. It's going to be so beautiful for this track. The forest background makes a good natural change of the environment to have a nice place for all racer will be mastered on corners to do the old way and the new ways on different layouts to be as a good changes. But I kind of like a good river view onto the track, you guys. So beautiful to have a nice, wonderful environment, just like High Speed Ring. Impressive. So impressive to have a nice, good background in GT7. So we have one GT opponent is here to be interact. It's Pajanet. Bonjour, my name is Florent Paginet, and I hail from a small village in France called Fromageon. Very nice. It's a very good pleasure to meet you, Florent. You won't up and see me without my trademark hat. To do well, here at Deep Forest, you need to master the S-bend section and control your throttle on the inclines. Make sure you accelerate in a way that allows you to stick to your racing line. Alright, looks like this is gonna be a perfect time to go over onto the Switzerland racetrack, onto that layout, you guys. So let's do this. Race number 1 on the European Sunday Cup. Here I go, and this will be a perfect challenge for a single Total Drama livery. Alright, there you go. Looks like just gonna have to go right in onto turn number 1. Commence an out and out for a basic corner. I'm so very hyped about Deep Forest Raceway, you guys. This racetrack changes into a full competition just like the original. Gonna have to get ready because the strategy will go understeer pressure in the FF layout. Coming in, gonna have to squeeze right in for the overtake. Okay, keep pushing. Looks like Volkswagen Golf and Renault Megane Trophy is still keep coming at it to be at my main focus. Right, looks like just gonna have to see how the inside turn will have to go hard left. There you go. That's the ticket. 4 more to go, you guys. I'm about to go right in onto the tunnel section to be going forward towards the hairpin to be at the new interesting turn. There it is right there. That's the new hairpin for Deep Forest Raceway. Time to slow down and take a good left turn to be moving on towards the final corner. I'm so impressed about having a good layout onto this course line, you guys. But clearly, there's a bridge right over there towards at the end of the final corner until moving on at the end of the first lap towards the final lap. It was one of the legendary Gran Turismo racetrack to be set and located in Switzerland, just like Edgar Norwood and Matterhorn from Gran Turismo 5 and Gran Turismo 6, especially in Prologue for Edgar Norwood. But it was so incredible to see how Deep Forest Raceway, just barely putting up with a different background style, is also to be yet featured. Gonna have to keep pushing forward. Still using with the comfort soft tires that I should probably rather have to go over onto the tuning shop. Come on, just gonna have to squeeze right in onto that inside turn. Okay, there's Papinet. Let's try to catch up to him. I know this is gonna be a bronze defeat, or ended up in 4th place, you guys. Note to self, I should probably might need to have some part upgrades before entered onto the Sunday Cup European Edition. I'll make sure this is going to be the perfect place to be on the warm-up after this. Keep coming forward. Now for the final stretch. There you go. Looks like 4th place at the end. So keep that in mind, you guys. When you're choosing a different car, just gonna have to go over onto the tuning shop to increase your performance upgrade. But depends on the PP level is gonna be well based to be reached up towards 500. For my guess of the recommendation, I have to go by 498. But not a big deal. I have to exit out and go right back onto the GT Resort. But this might have to take a short time to do some shopping for some upgraded parts. Now let's go back and get some upgrades whenever I might need. So looks like that might be quite having a 4th place at the end for the first round on this video, you guys. But always be a reminder when you're choosing the best European hot hatches, just gonna have to go over onto the tuner shop. We'll have to do some upgrades to increase your performance. Time to purchase for the sport soft tires along with the medium. Okay, looks like it's all purchased. Now I might need to do some clutch and flywheel. We'll have to go increase to be much more direct power transfer. Putting up sports suspension, installed, equipped. Now, it might be possible just gonna have to go with an N8 type. I should probably have to rather to go with a supercharger. That would be very good increase for the high performance. Just like I just used to have the Mini Cooper S 1965 with a UDRS livery before I ended up in 2nd place at Sardegna Road Track B course layout. Now let's go and put up with the carbon ceramic brake kit. 10,000 credits. Okay, maybe this will be needed to have a new engine. Added up onto the memo after this, so I have to keep that in mind in personal. Okay, sports intercooler. That might be a decreased reduced amount of performance points. Almost there. Now I might need to have some good upgrade to go stronger. Okay, all set and ready to go. Let's get ready to go back to the World Circuits for another round. I bet I could probably have to go again to master Deep Forest Raceway in 1st place to get much better this time. Go back on to European continent regions. Let's try this again, you guys. At this time, it's going challenging to have an understeer FF challenge. We'll have to go for the limit. I shall avenge with my last video on Sardegna Road Track B course layout on the European edition of the Sunday Cup. Number 400 may be quite going average, but number 500 is gonna be the intermediate course. So let's go. Time to pump things up and try again for attempt number 1 before entered onto attempt number 2. Let's see how the adjusted performance on Team Chris is really hot from Total Drama World Tour. We'll have to master and challenge on Switzerland in Deep Forest Raceway. Okay, there's the Renault Megane Trophy RS blocking me on 7th place. There's M. Brady. Heads up, coming right in. That's the ticket. Now, gonna have to move on and keep a good flow technique to find my line in Deep Forest Raceway. The Renault Sport Clio B6. That's gonna be my main challenger, you guys. Temporarily, but also to have the Alpine A110 Premier Edition is now coming over. There's Pagadet, you guys. He's driving the Alpine A110. Change up onto the right side and go for the overtake. Close call. Clearly having a close call to have a single Total Drama livery to stay on track before entered onto third place. Coming in and take that hairpin turn before entered onto the final corner. Luckily, I hope if there might be one traffic car coming in onto the bridge, that would be so realistic to see. Lap number 1 clear at the end, and here comes lap number 2. Full speed ahead, you guys. I'm about to take first place in the lead. There's C. Lopez. Once again, second place is now currently ongoing. Slide around, step up the apex, do some good braking zone to go early. Hello, C. Lopez. Good to see you. Now coming right in. Maybe I could probably have to switch over onto the third person view so if C. Lopez can actually solve the title Total Drama in it. Alright, now time to take a full push. It's FF versus FF in different European hot hatches. Oh man, looks like it's Mikhail Hisar coming in on the lead. When coming in onto the tunnel to have the headlights and taillights to be turned on, but that would be so cool to have the effect will be turned automatically during the conditions in GT7. But now it's about to get coming closer towards at the end of the second lap. Final stretch. Better make it count. But this is going to be a different way of a deja vu all over again from last time, since I'm using with the 1965 Mini Cooper S at the European edition of the Sunday Cup number 400. Okay, so far so close. But that was so incredible that I just did my best in lap number 2 towards at the end of the race in the first round. So looks like it's gonna be a very good daily workout complete. And there it is, 2-star roulette ticket. See what I mean, you guys? I just used the first one of the 2-star roulette ticket from my free time, and that will be a perfect time to go in onto my video segment for part number 10. And for the good news, the DS Automobiles DS3 Racing is now acquired in the first course of the menu book. I know how you guys really think this will be the perfect time to get ready to go over onto the next round, but I'm so hyped up for Deep Forest Raceway. It's all about exercise technique to master this course to have a different way. Let's switch things up onto the sports soft tires and see how I could probably have to take on Mikhail Isair on for another round for the rematch. Now, let's go again. Rev up from 80 to 100 miles per hour after the rolling start. We'll have to go right in once again. Step right up, step right up. any well-known Gran Turismo players can actually take on with a single Total Drama World Tour livery? Better have a good surprise guess. It's gonna be a very good nostalgic moment to see how one Gran Turismo player with a Total Drama band can actually be racing around in Deep Forest Raceway. I know, it takes a little bit forever before moving on to take the next course. Coming in. Only 6.6 seconds left. Now how the status on the Mini Cooper S is doing. Doing A-okay. But still gets a lot of good pushes for only a single horsepower to be well used on the tires. 5.5 seconds left. Let's keep going forward. And there it is right now. The top three is still keep coming right in. No sign of a moving traffic car on the bridge. Just gonna have to keep looking while we race. Now coming in onto the final lap for another attempt before taking on with the top three Gran Turismo players. So let's try to keep it gentle and keep pushing forward onto turn number 1 at the out and out line. Going up the hill. Follow up the slipstream. Pagenet is now coming in onto the defense. A very good choice to have the Alpine A110 to be as a suitable recommend car. But it may be possible to have a very different look of a coupe European car to be not as a hatchback, but it can still depends on because any European cars will be eligible to participate in the Sunday Cup to be entered. Alright, now gonna have to take one last push to catch up on to C. Lopez. Kick it up on the high gear and build up the slipstream onto the straightaway. There you go. But not yet over. Okay, there he is. I know this is gonna be the perfect time to end it up in second place for another round. But yeah, I make sure that I have to go with a different car to be depends on the best performance. But my guess of my rarity choice will have to go with various type of European car for this event. Second place, so I could probably have to do some more build up with some workout at any time for doing some main outcome. Well, that was gonna be the perfect time to have silver medal to add with 9,000 credits. Let's go and do some wrap up at the replay. Very challenging and surprise. M. Hisayo is using the Mercedes-Benz A45 AMG 2013. FF European cars didn't stand a chance to go faster to challenging up with the all-wheel drive. Now next up, it's going to be at Sardegna rail track. It's going to be on the B course layout as always, you guys. I know this is going to be a very difficult time to choose for the better mid-engine layout to be well depends on. So I have to choose for the best rarity pick. I'll have to grab my R5 Turbo 1980 to go right back over onto the tuning shop to get some applied upgrades to be well adjusted to be at 500. let's go right in onto the tuning shop again, you guys. This video segment may be contains with any kinds of cars will be need to have some upgrades. Now that's a very good high RPM turbocharger. We'll be doing some apply upgrade. I'll take that to do some good adjusted parts. Fully customizable manual transmission. Instead, racing transmission is very good to be on the ratio. I'll have to purchase this one and then adding up with a racing intercooler. Just gonna have to take my time. It's all about being patient, you guys. Depends on any kinds of good rarity parts to be on the category. Okay, polished ports. Increase torque by reducing resistance in the intake and exhaust. That might be a very good part to be installed. Now for extreme. Steering angled adapter. Only for drift control, of course. I have to make sure to do some drifting after this. Okay. Now, it also comes in to have some increased parts to be well adjusted. Maybe I could probably have to go with picky parts whenever it depends on the high rarity. I had to buy one part on the medium. Nope, not enough. I should rather have to stick with it, because it's very determined to see which parts could be quite very well in use to be on the range of performance points. I'll get back in onto the garage before moving on to take race number 2. Just gonna have to see how I could probably have to sort things out. Go over onto the settings. Not enough performance points. Okay, that should be good enough. My Renault R5 Turbo is good to go for racing number 2, and I'll be willing to avenge after the 400 edition of the Sunday Cup European. We'll have to do for another round before I should probably have to do some free time. So let's get ready to go, you guys. Race number 2, European Sunday Cup 500 at the B course layout in Sardegna road track. Journey to the 1 and get myself to have a Peugeot GTI 208 by Peugeot Sport 2014. We'll have to go classic. We'll have to do a European old-fashioned way. Alright, there's Mikhail Hisar is here, so let's give him a warm welcome. Hi, my name is Mikhail Hisar. I'm from Germany. Nice to meet you, Mikhail. Nice to meet you. When I did first become interested in cars, from a very young age, I assure you, I must have been no more than 3. I'm looking forward to today's race, and I'll be going all out to win it. You're on, Mikhail Hisar. I'm about to race with you after race number 1 at Deep Forest Raceway. So let's go, you guys. Race number 2, we'll have to go old-fashioned to have a good, excellent battle between all-wheel drive versus the mid-engine layout. Let's go velocity from 0 to 60 miles per hour to kick it up onto turn number 1. Two laps as always, so let's make sure to see how perfection to go clean racing. Stay on the line, overtake the Renault Clio V6 and the RS220 Trophy 2015. being overtaken after having a late braking point to be losing control. Gonna have to be very more careful before going down onto the hill. I'm so happy to go for having another round to be doing a good exact different moment onto some similar difference in the Sunday Cup, you guys. Let's slow and steady and go up the hill. There's Mikhail Hissel in the Mercedes A45 AMG. Gonna have to catch up to him. He's a very good, proud German GT champion driver, of course. Let's make a very good, gentle, warm welcome applause. Slow it in. Just gonna have to take a deep breath. And now, lap number 1 towards at the end before coming in onto lap number 2. Let's keep climbing up and switch up onto the interior view again. Hold it steady. Mid-engine layout is doing the best push to deal with all-wheel drive. Keep it concentrated. Gonna have to make my way and keep pushing in on the overtake. Successful overtake and going down the hill onto sector number 2 before at the end of sector 1. But thankfully, this old dog can barely try to put up with some new tricks after applied with some good, strong, upgraded parts. Let's go climb up the hill and catch up on the Paquinette. Sector 3 is coming in towards at the last resort. Let's try to keep this old dog together. Keep on going. Final corner is about to coming in towards at the end. Come on, looks like it's gonna get closer. Nope, not very close. That should be ended up in silver instead. Alright. Well, guess the prize car is all mine, you guys. Silver medal and doing a good job. That was absolutely so close, you guys. For only a second, I almost had my chance to have to go closer to do some racing strategies to deal with a strong opponent. But maybe it might be quite depends to be going basic or intermediate. So let's build up with some mileage distance to be well exceeded. And there you go. The Pescia 208 GTI by Pescia Sport 2014 is now acquired onto the list. And that means one of my Total Drama liveries will be reacquired to be part onto my lineup for Fishing Total Drama. But that was a very good, excellent overtake on Mikhail himself, you guys. But also for the thumbnail to be needed as a replay. So let's save after this, so I could probably have to go over onto my free time because Nations Cup is still out there for today before set in schedule in 1700 hours. Deep Forest checked, Sardegna road track checked, and now heading up to Brands Hatch for event number 3 in European Sunday Cup 500. Same car as always, main rival cars will be doing the same thing as well. Now let's see which car should I probably have to select with. I'll have to stay with a Renault 5 Turbo. Will be doing the main course. 2 laps to be at the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit is going to be on the full course, you guys. 2 laps. We'll be doing a full-on challenge to see how I could probably have to master that good, excellent track since the Indy course layout. But I'm so glad to be pumped up and raring to go. Okay, C. Lopez is here. I'm the instructor in charge of the National A license. If you would like to take the next step with your driving, having a go at the National A license is a good idea. I've already acquired the National A license, C. Lopez. I'm all set and good to go. Let's do this. Now, for the matter of fact, to see how challenging to be well determined between the Indy course and full course of Brands Hatch, you guys. So luckily, just gonna have to step right in onto turn number 1 to be on the rolling start to be at last place. Line them up. Going in onto turn number 2 at the hairpin. Just gonna have to stay on the flow technique. Doing a professional racing driving experience, we'll have to step right in onto sector 2 after leaving sector 1. Keeping up the pressure. Going overtake with European hot hatches such as Renault Clio with the 2016 version, as I can also to be last seen from the number 2 event in the 2015 version. Coming in onto the full stretch, and here comes the top one to be entered in. Very nice and excellent. Whew. Stunning close call. Now, let's step right in to deal with 4 challenging Gran Turismo racer since they've worked so hard. First up, Pacadet in the Alpine A110 Premier Edition. Second, C. Lopez in the Renault Megane Trophy will be stepping on to 4th place. Baruches in the Pescia 208 GTI, and then Mikhail Heisel in the Mercedes A45 AMG. So let's go in onto the final lap, you guys. Strategy is all about to deal with all kinds of modern cars, including one classic vehicle will be well usable to challenging to do some tricks. Fastest lap, 1 minute 51.962 seconds for my running time in lap number 1. So let's go kick it up on the high gear transmission. Stepping in onto the next turn. Smoothly in. Sector 3 is coming in. Fourth gear is doing well. Now, time to go onto the braking point. Deaccelerate and re-accelerate. We'll have to get closer onto the gap. There you go. I have finally overtaken Mikhail Heisel to be dropped down in 2nd place before moving on to take the lead. Now that's classic racing. Let's go forward onto the final corner for the final stretch. That means 1st place is doing a good work out there to have successful moments, to do some best racing moments in Gran Turismo history. Yes, 1st place, successful, job well done. I'm so proud of myself for doing a good job in the Renault 5 Turbo. Classic hatchback doing a good job to be in lap number 2 in the fastest lap of 1 minute and 49.816 seconds in the total time of 3 minutes and 41.778 seconds. That makes a very good choice to have gold trophy to be received in first place. 15,000 credits to have a good prize money to be well earned. So let's go and proceed on, and there you go. Another Renault Clio RS 220 Trophy 2016 is now acquired on the menu book for another course. Already check-in acquired, and that will be very useful to be on the wide body modification. So I have to capture a thumbnail to need a replay after this. I know it's very challenging to be part in race number 1 and 2 of the European edition of the Sunday Cup, but always make sure to have some different cars with different adjusted parts will be well capable to be challenging with stronger opponents. But I almost barely had the chance that I got 3 silvers in the Sunday Cup edition of the European is doing some effort to have to be ended up onto the top 3. So let's see what else am I gonna have to do next. Okay, looks like 3 events have already complete. But I hope I could probably have to get ready to go over onto the next menu book after number 11 of the collection. And there you go. Go right back onto the GT Cafe and a good lineup with 3 French hot hatches to have a good stunning picture to have a nice background in it. Beautiful and amazing. Congratulations, you got all 3 cars. This completes your French hot hatches collection. Once you collect your rewards, I got some stories to tell you about these cars. Awesome, another 2-star roulette ticket. That will be very good and useful to be putting up for having a good chance to have another car. Okay, looks like this is going to be having an interesting guest to be welcomed to the GT Cafe. Here's Jeremy. This car, is it yours? Why, yes I am. I have this car from the very beginning to be participate. Wow, Jeremy. Wow, Jeremy. Nothing gets past you, does it? Jeremy loves nothing more than geeking out about racing. Wow, seeing a car like this up close is an absolute treat. Renault is a company that loves to compete. It has been involved in many forms of motorsport, including Formula 1. It was also formidable in the rallying world, alongside cars such as the Gordini and the Alpine from the 70s. The 1980s through, the company was all about this R5 Turbo. One of its early drivers, Gene Rugnotti, mentioned that the car suffered from terrible handling. He also confessed that misjudgments on narrow roads would always cause the rear of the car to hit objects. This is because the rear of the R5 Turbo was wider than the front. It's amusing to hear seasoned pros complain about aspects of a car they don't like. Well, it sure does. The Renault R5 Turbo can actually just gonna have to learn to do some improved skills and techniques on the track. So now, let's give a good description about the French hot hatches, what Luca has to say something about. So let's go on to have a review in menu book number 11. France holds the distinction of hosting the world's first motor race, way back in the 19th century. French manufacturers have been involved in motorsport for a very long time. And over the years, it has excelled at producing sporty versions of compact world cars. For example, Renault's motorsport division, Renault Sport, created very sporty cars using the Megane and Clio as a base. Peugeot's GTI has also been very popular hot hatch series since it first appeared in the 1980s. The DS3 Racing is another fun little car, resemblant of the DS models that competed in the World Rally Championship. All three cars represent the quintessential French hot hatch, are incredibly enjoyable to drive. Nice! This cutscene is a very good place to have 3 European hot hatches are being placed around in the Brand Central. So next up in number 2 is going to be the championship at Petit Course de France. So that makes part number 11 is coming soon, you guys. This will be a 3rd round for the championship event. So I guess this is going to be the perfect time to get ready to wrap this up. So I'll have to make sure to do one last reminder to do the next part after part number 11. But maybe it might be depends on, because part number 10 is all about challenging with stronger European hot hatches. It's all about to do some improved parts, depends on which kind of specific cars in different drivetrain whenever you like to go with. But it might be possible just gonna have to choose with some good, well improved performance points. Just gonna have to stick it up right underneath 500 to be at the limit. But always gonna have to make sure, you guys, depends on the range of the PP level in 490 is gonna be, well, depends to be at the stopping range. So strategize yourself whenever you like to take on with the most toughest challenge in the European Sunday Cup between the 400 and 500. But now it's time to get ready to go over to have another segment to be ready to start out onto the Nations Cup, you guys. But it might be very challenging to do the test season, so I have to look forward into the future. Well folks, thank you for watching on this video in Gran Turismo 7. I hope you enjoyed. Just go subscribe to my YouTube channel for a like, comment, and bell for notification on upcoming content videos if you like to see. I'll be see you guys next time for continue on in the full walkthrough on Gran Turismo 7, and I look forward to see you again in part number 11 in the next video. Keep on racing, stay clean.